Hello everyone, welcome to Speaking Task 1. In this task, we'll focus on developing your skills in offering practical and thoughtful advice for specific situations or problems. The ability to give good advice is not only valuable in personal interactions, but also essential in professional settings. By the end of this activity, you'll be better equipped to articulate your insights clearly and effectively. Now, let's take a look at an example from Speaking Task 1. This task focuses on giving advice. Analyzing this example will help us understand what makes a strong response. Your friend recently passed her interview and is about to move to a new city for a job opportunity. She has no acquaintances or close relatives in the city. She is concerned that she won't be able to adjust to her new surroundings and settle in easily. Give her advice on how to settle in seamlessly. Alright, let's jump into task 1, giving advice. In this exercise, your goal is to offer your friend meaningful advice on how to smoothly settle into a new city for a job opportunity. She doesn't have any friends or close family in the area and is worried about her ability to adjust to her new environment. As you formulate your responses, think about practical suggestions that can help resolve the situation. It's essential to explain your reasoning clearly so that the person receiving your advice can fully understand your perspective. Consider what insights you can offer that demonstrate your ability to empathize and truly grasp the problem at hand. Remember, good advice isn't just about solutions, it's also about being supportive and encouraging. Take a moment to reflect on the scenario you'll be working with. In this case, your friend Belinda is about to relocate for work. She doesn't have any friends or family in her new city, and she's seeking advice on how to adjust. It's important to note that she's not in the city yet. She's preparing for this new chapter in her life and needs guidance. When you give your advice, speak as if you're having a direct conversation with Belinda. For instance, you could start with something like this. Hello, Belinda. I heard you got a new job in another city. Congratulations. I've got some advice to help you prepare for this move. Avoid phrases like, if my friend got a job in a new city, I would tell her how to settle, because that distances you from the conversation. Instead, engage with Belinda directly. Try to avoid using too many interjections or filler words like and Keep in mind that using a few interjections can make your advice feel more conversational. It's still possible to achieve a level 12 response even if you include interjections. Be sure to include clear introductions and smooth transitions as you move from general suggestions to specific advice. Also, don't worry about having an accent. What matters is that you speak clearly and avoid long pauses. As you approach this task, remember to focus on fulfilling the requirements. Incorporate personal experiences or anecdotes about moving or adjusting to new environments, as this can enrich your advice and provide valuable context. Finally, strengthen your conclusion. Aim to summarize your main points and leave Belinda with a positive message. This will ensure your advice is both impactful and memorable. Consider recording yourself on your phone while you work on this exercise. This can help you evaluate your performance and identify areas for improvement. Now, we will listen to two responses, one at level 7 and another at level 12. As we listen, pay close attention to the content, structure, and language used by each speaker. After the recordings, we'll review both responses together. We'll discuss what each speaker did well and identify specific areas for improvement. This will not only help you understand the criteria for a higher score, but also give you practical tips for your own responses. Let's begin by listening to the level 7 response. Here is a response for Speaking Task 1 that has been scored at level 7. As you listen, pay attention to the content, clarity, and overall delivery. This will give you a good sense of what a level 7 response sounds like. Let's take a listen.
So, if your friend is moving to a new city and has a job interview, I have some tips that might help her feel less stressed about adjusting. First, it's really important for her to research the company she's interviewing with. She should know like what they do and their culture. This can help her feel more prepared and confident during the interview. Next, I think she should try to visit the area around the company beforehand. If she can check out nearby cafes or parks that can um, make her feel more familiar with the surroundings. Also, she should think about her commute. Knowing how to get to the interview location ahead of time can help reduce anxiety. She could try to go there a day before to see how long it takes. Lastly, she should remember to take deep breaths and stay calm. Interviews can be stressful, but if she focuses on being herself.
Now, let's listen to a response for speaking task 1 that has been scored at level 12. As you listen, focus on the advanced vocabulary, fluency, and the overall effectiveness of the advice given. This example will help you understand what a high-level response looks like.
So if your friend is moving to a new city and is worried about adjusting, I have some advice that could really help her. So she should explore her new environment. Getting to know the city, like walking around local neighborhoods or visiting parks, can help her feel more connected because, familiarity is important. Also, she should look for community events or social groups. Personally, I made new friends when I joined the sports league. So I know this can help. Attending workshops can be, a great way to meet new people. Websites like meetup.com could be useful for her. And I encourage her to establish a routine. Consistency can provide a sense of stability in a new environment. Simple things like visiting the same coffee shop or taking a regular exercise class can help her, build belonging. Lastly, it's important for her to be patient with herself. Adjusting can take time, and it's totally normal to feel out of place at first. She can reach out for support, through online communities or friends. With these steps, I'm confident she'll find her footing really well.
Let us explore the similarities between the level 7 and level 12 responses to the CELPIP speaking task regarding advice for a friend moving to a new city. First, both responses utilize interjections such as and like. This use of filler words reflects the natural thinking process of the speakers, which is common in spontaneous speech. While we encourage minimizing these interjections, for clarity, their presence in both responses shows a shared conversational style. Next, both speakers effectively introduce the topic at the beginning of their responses. They clearly set the context for their advice, making it evident that they are discussing the challenges of moving and adjusting to a new city. This clear introduction helps the listener understand what to expect. In terms of structure, both responses are organized sequentially. Each speaker presents their points in a list-like format, using phrases such as first, next, and lastly. This organization helps guide the listener through their ideas, making it easier to follow along. Pacing is another similarity. Both speakers maintain an appropriate pace throughout their responses, avoiding long pauses that could disrupt the flow of their speech. This pacing contributes to the clarity of their messages and keeps the listener engaged. Finally, there is an element of empathy in both responses. Each speaker expresses concern for their friend's situation, acknowledging her feelings about moving. This emotional connection adds a supportive tone to their advice, making it more relatable. In summary, while there are significant differences in the effectiveness of the responses, these similarities highlight some foundational aspects of spoken communication. They remind us that even in varying levels of proficiency, clear introductions, structured ideas, appropriate pacing, and empathy can enhance the quality of our speech. Keep in mind that neither of these responses is from a native English speaker. It's still entirely possible to achieve a level 12, even if English isn't your first language. So what makes one of these responses level 7 and one level 12? Let us find out. Now, let's delve into the key differences between the level 7 and level 12 responses to the CELPIP speaking task regarding advice for a friend moving to a new city. First and foremost, the most significant difference lies in task fulfillment. The level 7 response focuses primarily on interview preparation, discussing tips that are relevant to that context. In contrast, the level 12 response directly addresses the challenges of settling into a new city, providing practical advice that aligns perfectly with the task requirements. This clear focus on the prompt is crucial for achieving a higher score. Next, we can observe a difference in advice quality. The level 7 speaker offers limited suggestions that revolve around job-related concerns, such as researching the company and planning the commute. These points, while useful, do not encompass the broader aspects of adjusting to a new environment. On the other hand, the level 12 response provides comprehensive advice that includes exploring the city, joining social groups, and establishing routines. This depth of advice not only addresses the logistical aspects, but also considers emotional well-being, which is vital for successful adjustment. Another key difference is in the use of personal experience. The level 7 response lacks any personal insights or anecdotes, making it feel somewhat generic. In contrast, the level 12 speaker implies a deeper understanding of the adjustment process by suggesting community involvement and the importance of patience. This personal touch makes the advice more relatable and engaging. When we look at pacing and structure, we find that the level 7 response has a choppy flow with poor transitions, which can hinder comprehension. The frequent use of filler words contributes to a disjointed delivery. In comparison, the level 12 response features smooth transitions and a logical flow of ideas, enhancing coherence and making it easier for the listener to follow along. Finally, we must consider the conclusion of each response. The level 7 speaker ends abruptly, lacking a strong summary of the advice given. This leaves the listener without a clear understanding of the main takeaways. In contrast, the level 12 speaker concludes with confidence, reinforcing the idea that the friend will successfully adjust. A well-rounded conclusion not only ties the response together, but also leaves a positive impression. In summary, these differences highlight the importance of task fulfillment, advice depth, personal engagement, coherent structure, and effective conclusions in spoken responses. By understanding these distinctions, we can improve our own speaking skills and better meet the expectations of tasks like these.